Divorced from political activity, whether willfully or through negligence, De Vaux remained oblivious of such questions. Eventually, however, the logic he mustered to support his hypothetical earthquake became too strained even for the closest of his supporters. The then father Milik, in 1957, Milik wrote of the fire and the alleged earthquake that the archaeological evidence from Qumran is not unambiguous as to the order of these two events. The thick layers of ashes suggest a very violent conflagration, better to be explained as a result of a conscious attempt to burn down the whole building, so the ashes may show the traces of an intentional destruction of Qumran. Whether the fire was caused by earthquake or by deliberate human agency cannot be definitively established. Certainly, the evidence offers less support to De Vaux than it does to Milik and Eisenman, who, on this unique occasion, are in accord. Nevertheless, many adherents of the consensus still invoke the earthquake, and it still figures with metronomic regularity in their texts. In another instance, however, De Vaux's misinterpretation of the evidence, or, to put the matter charitably, wishful thinking, was much more conclusively exposed. Very early in his excavations, he found a heavily oxidized coin on which he said he believed he could discern the insignia of the Roman 10th Legion, purporting to cite Josephus. He also said that the 10th Legion had conquered Jericho 8 miles away in June of AD 68. Everything seemed to fit nicely. On the basis of his coin, De Vaux argued that Qumran must have been destroyed by the 10th Legion in AD 68. No manuscript of the caves, he later declared, waxing dogmatic on the basis of questionable data, can be later than June AD 68. De Vaux had first described his discovery of the coin in 1954 in Revue Biblique. He repeated his account 5 years later, in 1958-59, in the same journal. The fact of the coin and De Vaux's emphatic dating on the basis of it thus became enshrined in the established corpus of evidence. On the basis of it, thus became enshrined in the established corpus of evidence routinely invoked by adherents of the consensus. Thus, for example, Frank Cross would write that the coin stamped with the insignia of the 10th Legion constituted grim confirmation. De Vaux, however, had made two bizarre errors. In the first place, he had somewhere contrived to misread Josephus, ascribing to Josephus precisely the opposite of what Josephus in fact said. Josephus most emphatically did not assert that the 10th Legion captured Jericho in AD 68, as Professor Cecil Roth demonstrated of the 3 Roman legions.